Good evening, lovely tubers. My name is the White Mexican, and welcome to Market Watch Investments. I have a plethora of cards I'll be showcasing for you guys tonight, and I do hope that you will enjoy. Getting things kickstarted tonight is going to be Scareclaw Tryhard. Now, this is the big boss himself, their big link monster. Personally, of late, I've been honestly having a hard time with Scareclaw. Be lucky if I make it to game 3, and it's always a struggle, and I think this is an extremely underrated deck. Apparently, there's some new support coming out here shortly, so it's going to be interesting, and this is a sharp deck. It's quick. If you're not paying attention, this will sneak up on you. Starting market prices for this is going to be about 13 bones, and there's a 3 stack here, 16 stack here. So this is kind of like the main one. Again, it's not a relatively pricey deck by any means. I think this is probably one of the most expensive cards, and it's not too bad. Really cool artwork too. Interesting to see where that deck goes in the future. Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax is going to be next. So this is seeing some pretty good price articulation here. We're seeing starting market price for this for near and first edition copies is 28 bones for all these onesie stacks. And then just out of curiosity, we'll go ahead and take a look at bulk prices. It's going to go to about 32-ish, give or take. Now, I believe that there is a disgusting ultra rare, which no one really cares about, so we're just going to go ahead and move on. Artifact Lancia is going to be next, so Cash is getting new support quite soon, and this is potentially going to be an ideal tech choice, and we can see a pretty good price articulation here. So pretty much starting market price is going to be about 5-6 bones for first edition secrets. I'm more curious for bulk prices. Those instantly go double to about 12. So this card moved quick. It is really good money, particularly for the bulk prices, and you're gonna need them if you want to use them. So it's gonna be interesting. There are other versions, of course, some commons and some disgusting rarities that we're just not gonna talk about. So we'll just go ahead and move on to the next card here. Snow is gonna be nice. So this card specifically for the secrets, you can see this great articulation here. It's nice diagram, visual aid. Starting market price is going to be 16 plus bones starting off the bat for all the played first edition secret variants of this. We'll go ahead and check out bulk prices, that one, and then this one here. So really good money on this, honestly. If you guys aren't using your secret snows, I think that this is kind of like as high as it's going to go. I don't really see this card breaching this price point, so personally I know I'm selling mine and I'm just going to rebuy them more affordable later. Amazement Administrator is going to be next. So apparently this is a solo print secret rare downing out of Lightning Overdrive. So this is getting new support potentially from word on the street. What's interesting about this that I kind of like is that you can just generically rip it from your hand if a trap card is activated. So kind of reminds me of Heavenly Prison just a little bit, but this is what's really cool about this. It is a dark level 7, so maybe some rank 7 plays. It's kind of random that's a psychic, but I like how they have these little Karibos here. It's pretty cool, like Karibo balloons. But again, the sheer fact that it is a secret rare and it is a solo print with the new support, maybe it'll go up and we can see kind of some articulation here, and then it kind of trickles off. But pretty much all across the board for first edition secrets, it's going to be 6 bones starting market price. There is a 3 stack here for 7 and a couple other stacks over here for 7 as well. So kind of interesting stuff. See where that goes. That grass looks greener. Do you sell yours? Do you keep it? Do you hold it for the ban list? Is it getting ratted? Is it not getting ratted? Who knows? All I know is that this still to the day is a solo print secret rare downing out a rate. So really great artwork. Really good card. Really good money too. I mean, starting market price is about 15 bones for first edition original secrets. For these onesie stacks, we'll check out bulk prices. Bulk prices are going to go to about a little phantom under 18. So then it gets crazy after that. So do you keep yours? That's a good question. The world may never know. Number 2, Ninja Shadow Mosquito is next. So this is a new secret rare downing out of the new Battles of Legends Crystal Revenge. I got my ass whooped with this card. Last week I was playing some locals with some friends, and my opponent was playing Sprite, and he busted out this rank 2 and he beat my ass silly with this card. which is kind of funny because I had no idea that you could essentially OTK someone with the right spot. And this card is insanely affordable, very, very, very affordable. Pretty much half a bone for both prices, first edition all across the board, and rightfully so. This is very much an abundance. This set just dropped, but don't throw these cards away. This is one you probably want to hold on to. Minerva is going to be next. Battles of Legends, Light's Revenge. The secret rare variants, this is finally seeing some respect. It's finally seeing some great articulation and price point. I remember for the longest time this was going anywhere between 2 to 5, which was just insane. Like the artwork being attached to the whole like Lightsworn package and like, you know, fanboy favorites, it's just crazy. And there's just not a lot of prints of this in general. Starting market price is going to be about 15 bones for bulk prices. This is exclusively for bulk prices, and articulates about 18 after that. If we take off the bulk prices, it's going to go down significantly to about 7 for the 1Z, 2Z stacks, but an all-around really, really great card, and for the longest time, very, very underrated. Lord of the Heavy Prison is going to be next. These are the original standard secrets from Burst to Destiny. This card is really, really, really good. I might be a little biased because right now I'm playing branded Despia Outlich, and I proc this at 3, and I mean, ever since I got on the Outlich train, I've loved this card. I think this card is extremely powerful, very, very diverse, and it's just very affordable, and that's the best thing. So we're gonna go ahead and look straight into stacks. There is a 3 playset stack of 9 here for I played first edition original prints for 6 bones. This is really, really insane. Now keep in mind, the 6 bone price for the original first burst secrets is really nice, but keep in mind it does have that prismatic secret from the new 2022 tins, and it's just very much in abundance. And again, I pick up these up for 2. Anytime these go to tunes, I cop these left and right for the 2 bone mark. It's not quite there anymore. It's going to hovering almost about a phantom under 3 bones now, but still, either variant of this are both secret rare. They're both gorgeous, and I think they're extremely undervalued cards, and they're at, you know, some insane price points. You should definitely cop them. Red Ice Darkness is going to be next. So this is an extremely fun card. There's so many really, really fun rarities. My personal favorite is the Legendary Collection for Joey's World First Edition Secrets. Of course, you have, I believe this was the first print, the Shonen Jump Ultra Rare Promos, which are going for some pretty ungodly prices now. And there's also the Dual Terminal 4 Commons, which are really, really awesome. Duelist Saga Ultras, which are really, really nice. But just for time purposes, we got a lot of tabs today, so I'm just going to go ahead and cover my personal favorite, the Secret Rare from Legendary Collections 4. And these are going for really good money, as they should. About 13 bones starting market price for 1Z, 2Z stacks for Lightly Played First Edition. Switch over to bulk prices, and it's going to go to about 16 plus this fat shipping, and then a phantom under 20 bones after that. So Red Eyes Metal, Darkness Metal is having a ham of a time over there. Brawl Soda is going to be next. So I remember, I was living in Japan at the time when Saiho came out, and I remember this was like a 100 bone card on set release. This was really, really popular. People were like smashing people up with this card, and it was like 100 bones a pop. And how the mighty have fallen. You can pick up a near mint first edition copy for 11 bones now. This is insane. If you guys don't have a copy of this, I highly recommend you guys get at least one copy of this. A lot of people say this card's washed out, it's underrated, or it's kind of like inferior. No one really uses it anymore. No one really has any extra room in their extra deck for it, but this is still a monstrosity of card. The history mirror and the collectability behind this is just great beyond end, but on top of that, this is still a strong card. This can still take you by surprise, and this could still take W's. For bulk prices, it's a little bit more for bulk prices. It goes up to like 24-ish, so for a 1 stack, it's really affordable. Goliath is going to be next. So Aftermorph's Goliath is going to be next. Now, all of the Aftermorph cards have pretty insane effects, but I wanted to showcase Goliath specifically because it's the strongest. They're all dragons. Unfortunately, they're not dark. It would have been better if they were like either dark or light. Earth is kind of like off-putting attribute for dragons. They're mostly like the heavy hitters are light and dark, but this effect, the pendulum effect's pretty crazy, but I don't like the whole how you have to like the cost of tributing during the standby phase and all that. But the monster effect here is pretty detrimental. Like again, you can proc this with Red Eyes Darkness Metal just, you know, special summon it out, and then at the end of your turn, after you make all your crazy combos, get all your extra deck monsters out, and then you can just proc this out at the end of your turn and completely lock out your opponent's essentially his whole turn. The extra deck is very, very vital to the current meta, and this is like really, really crazy. So yeah, and this isn't, the best thing is this is insanely affordable. These are of course the super rares from Shining Victories, the original 2016 set. These are like $0.25 a pop for bulk prices, near mint, first edition, lightly played alike. It's just insane. So I would definitely get at least three to 9, just to kind of hold, because like people forget about this card. It's kind of obscure. It's kind of like this random like crappy subtype that no one really liked, never really caught on. But this effect is really, really detrimental, and 2750 is a pretty big body. National Ariel is going to be next. So these are the original Structure Deck Shaddoll Showdown super rares. This card is one of the most generic, if not probably the most generic Shaddoll card, because for this second effect you don't need to have any kind of Shaddoll package. You just proc it by a card effect, and you can rip up to 3. So not just 1, not 2, not 3. It can be 3. 1, 2, 3, and it's from your graveyard. It's from your opponent's graveyard. I don't know why it's not letting me highlight specifically what I'm trying to highlight. This is extremely generic. This is really, 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 really good. It's kind of random that she's a psychic, but it's cool that she's a water. She's total babe, you know, water. Level 4. I feel like she should be a spellcaster. She totally looks like a witch. Like she's got like this big pimpin' witch hat. I don't know why she's a psychic. I guess it kind of psychic and spellcaster, witch, kind of all the same. But anyway, the best thing is this is insanely affordable. We're talking about bulk prices, first edition, lightly played, near mints alike, like under $0.25 a pop. And here's a fat 100 stack here. So definitely pick up your copies. This is insanely affordable. Of course, there is the Ghost of the Trash. Well, actually not Ghost of the Trash, it was the ultra rare reprint from the tin, which is just utterly disgusting, and no one really cares about that, so we're just going to go ahead and close out of this tab quickly. Just the same as Dark World Puppetry, so you do not need to be running a Dark World engine to proc this card. This is a quick play, just like Ariel. It can proc up to 3 in any graveyard. I think Ariel had to have been like an inspiration for this card, because it pretty much is like word for word, except for this has to be a Fiend-based engine as opposed to Ariel just being like just generic. You can just proc it with any card effect. This is really good. Honestly, I was pretty disappointed with the new Dark World structure deck. Like, the fusion's really cool, and the fusion card's really cool, and some of the new magic cards are cool, but more specifically Puppetry is, I think, the best in my personal opinion. And maybe the fusion too, just because they're quick play and they're relatively generic-ish. They're Fiend eccentric, but they're not Dark World specific. And I think the longevity out of all of the cards, the new support, I think this is going to have the longest longevity, because it's relatively generic for Fiend type deck / builds. Obviously, this is a solo print, just came out, and it's all in abundance on the market. It's about a half bone all across the board for both prices. Extremely good card. If you guys don't have this, I highly recommend you guys get a minimum of like 3 to 6 to 9. Vista Starfrost is going to be next. So I remember when Diffo dropped, this card was like $6. It was super affordable. Maybe I haven't really been paying attention to this card, and I really haven't, because this isn't a really card that I particularly like or have really seen much value in. But it is cool that's a tuner. I always forget that it's a tuner. It's a light, it's a tuner, and it can be procced out easily from the hand. So that is pretty cool. And it goes with a lot of different of the new like archetyped supported decks and stuff. But now it's a whopping 18 bones starting market price for even onesie twosie stacks, which is pretty incredible. And I think it's about the same for bulk prices as well. It goes to about, Phantom under 18 here, and then it goes to 18 for this nice stack of good number on that, 13. Anyway, pretty crazy stuff. So if you guys aren't using it, sell it. If you are, congratulations, you have a little bit more value in that. Majesty Pegasus, the Draco Slayer, is going to be next. So the only reason why I wanted to showcase this card is, one, she's kind of a babe. Like, this is like a really cool artwork, I'm not going to lie. We're not going to talk about this disgusting rarity. We're just not going to pay attention to that. But what is cool is this effect right here. More specifically for it just being pendulum summon, obviously, because I'm not really a fan of like the whole Draco builds and Slayers, and you know, having to put in a whole engine to proc a card effect. This generic field magic card search is just so insane. Nothing has ever really done that before, besides, I think, was it Ancient Fairy Dragon? I think that used to, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm just like an old confused fool, but this is a really good search effect, and this can, like, because it can just proc by being just pendulum summoned, I consider it very, very generic, and it may see played, it may see some value increase later on, especially seeing how it is so insanely affordable right now. Fat sack of 59, near mint first edition for under a bone is just crazy. So if you guys don't have a couple copies, I definitely want to get a couple copies myself, because it's just insanely affordable. A lot of room for that to grow too. Galaxy Soldier is going to be next. I think it's really hilarious that this card is more favored by Cyber Dragon players than the actual Galaxy archetype / deck dot builds themselves. This is a pretty cool card. This card always has some crazy fluctuation in prices, and this obviously being the highest as Prismatic Secret from a really obscure subset, World Superstars. Starting market price for this is going to be about 15 bones for near mint first edition for a 2-play set. This is actually already at play set, so we're going to go ahead and take off bulk prices, and then it trickles down for the onesie twosie stacks, but again, you're gonna have to practice at a play set. Pretty much everyone plays it at 3 if you're running it. And then of course there's these 3 other disgusting alternative rarities that are for peasants. D-Shifter is gonna be next. So I have mixed feelings about this. I am kind of starting to be more favorable towards this card. I've always felt that it was a huge luck sack card, and I really don't like luck sacks / cards. I'm not a big gambler, and if you don't open this card, it's pretty much a brick. It's pretty much a dead draw. You're not going to be able to use it. Like, you have to use it turn 1. You have to open it turn 1. You have to use it turn 1 for the most part. And I really don't like that. I do like these Prismatic Secret Rares. This is the only rarity that I do like, the original Gold Sarko 2019 Prismatic Secrets. I still think it's too pricey for what it is. I think a good buy for this should be 5 to 3. It's kind of almost there. 537 is not really a big deal for a stack of 5, but honestly, I'd be more comfortable around the 4 bone range. So for bulk prices, it's almost there, not quite there, but that's just my personal opinion. I also do see like the necessity behind it with like tier and stuff, and like sometimes you don't, some players just have to play it and kind of roll the dice and hope they open it, and when they open it's pretty detrimental. But if you don't, I don't like how it's pretty much just dead after that. Nessie is going to be next. All across the board, this is going for some pretty good money. Now, personally, I just hold on to the first edition secrets myself. I think this card is just gorgeous, aesthetically, high rarity secret rare. Cybernetic Horizon is kind of an older set now, per se, a couple years back. All across the board, just going for good money though. The ultras are going between anywhere like from 11 to 13, but what even surprised me is even the gold rares. I remember picking up a playset of these for maybe 2-3 bones not too long ago, and now we can see like any kind of any condition of this is about 8-9 bones starting market price, and that's before we even get to the bulk prices. Bulk prices, again, well, they're about the same, about 8-9, and then it jumps up to 10 after that. So if you guys are not using your Nessies, more specifically the golds or the ultras, because they're pretty hideous, go ahead and push them off. But the secrets, I would probably hold on to at least a playset of those. White Aurora Whale is going to be next. So this is apparently a solo print secret from Battles of Legends. I don't know what's going on with this. Obviously this is being propped in some kind of crazy water build. Starting market price for this is there's 1 for 6, and then it instantly jumps to 13 bones. This is insane. Sell this if you're not playing it. If anyone's buying it, I don't know, but this is worth way too much money for what it is, and I would definitely push it off. Just the same as Fish Sonar. So Legendary Duelist, Duels from the Deep was just a complete flop of a set. There was little to no value in this being one of the only cards, and again, it's a solo print, and that's hence why it's 16 bones pretty much all across the board. So again, if you're not using this, sell it quick, because that's a pretty good price point for what it is. Anti-spell fragrance is going to be next. So this is an amazing floodgate. It goes in and out of the metagames and the changing of formats. There's a lot of really great rarities. My personal favorite are the prismatic secrets from the Power of Chaos Yugi the Destiny. Prismatic promos are really cool. Dual terminal rare are really cool. I want to take a look at the OTS 1 being the very first OTS Tournament Pack 1 super rares. I think these are definitely really great for playability purposes. Onesie twosie stacks really affordable, pretty much like 2-3 bones all across the board, but when you switch to bulk prices, that's when it starts to get a little crazier. Well, not too crazy. There is, you know, about 2 bones here for this, and there's 3. So honestly, these 2 bone ones for these 3Zs, I would honestly want to pick this up in more like probably 18-9, like really bulk buy, but it's not really available for that, so that's not too bad. There also, of course, is the prismatics, which ideally being the highest rarity per se. I mean, I guess technically I think there's a collector's rare of this. I'm not a super big fan of collector's rare. There are some things I think are just gorgeous, like labyrinth cards and collector's rare, like more specifically the monsters. I think those just look beautiful, but other cards and so I'm just not a big fan of like the majority of collector's rares. So these for the prismatics original prints, which are just like old as dust. They're insanely old. I remember this card like being around when I was a kid. And everyone thought it was terrible, like it was just not a used card, but now it's just insane. Pretty much 14 bones for lightly played, and then it jumps up to about 18 for near mints. These are all like onesie twosie stacks. We're gonna go ahead, take a look at bulk prices. Not too bad, honestly. There's a stack of 4 here for under 20, and then jumps up to 24 after that. So this stack, I could see this stack getting pretty torn up pretty quick, because this is just a gorgeous card, and again it rotates a lot in the metagames. Witch's Strike is going to be next. I've always loved the artwork on this card. Again, Savage Strike is a couple years back now, and I've always wanted to proc this card. This card is such a fun card. It's such a detrimental card. It is really difficult, rightfully so, to kind of get off per se. I've never seen anyone really do it. But it feels so good. Like, I feel like this has got to be like one of like the most like, oh, look at this is crazy. I just realized this. You guys notice this? The TCG player tip for cards: devastate their hand with a single card. It's all dramatic. It's kind of cheese, but anyway, that's kind of cool. I just realized that. Anyway, really fun card. I mean, for anything else, like the collectability behind this is going to be pretty great, because the artwork is just badass. It's a really aesthetically pleasing, being a high rarity secret rare. And again, Savage Strike was a pretty solid set. So starting market price for onesie twosie stacks is about 5-6 for the onesie twosie stacks. For bulk prices, it's going to go up to about 7, 8, 10 after that. So pretty cool. Of course, there are the reprint ultra rares if you hate your life too. Coral Dragon is going to be next. So these are the original secret rares from the Dark Illusion, pretty infamous set. Really cool artwork. You know, you pitch one to bust one, and then it's basically a jar of greed on legs after it gets sent to the graveyard or removed from the field. Yeah, field to graveyard. So pretty cool. I like this one because it's a level 6. I really pair it up with Tatsunoko. But the thing about Tatsunoko is it's so, like, it's only a level 3, and keep in mind both these, like the special kind of like ability of these is that they are both synchro tuners. There's not abundance of synchro tuners in the card pool right now, and I know that there's like plenty of like level 1 tuners to proc this, and you can rip one from the hand, which is kind of like the whole value in this card. But I just really like Coral Dragon more. I'm not really sure why. I mean, they're both water, they're both synchro tuners, but anyway, it's kind of just my reasoning on that. Starting market price for Coral Dragon, original print, first edition, and secrets are going to be roughly around 10 bones, pretty much all across the board for onesie twosie stacks. And then if we proc 2, there's only one single stack, and it's about 10, and you have this extra shipping here. Now, there is this terrible rarity right here, which is disgusting, and it's just disgusting. I just, you know, I don't know what people are spending their money on, but I definitely cannot spend my money on such a rarity. Tatsunoko, so this is the original core secret rare first edition, so we're just gonna go ahead and get into these. These are very affordable, pretty much like a bone, 2 bones all across the board. at least for onesie twosie stacks. When you switch over to bulk prices, that's when it gets a little crazy. There is a stack of 9 here for about 5 bones from Cart Crack. Pretty cool name on that. And then of course, a little bit better of a card pull on this one. There is a mirrored secret rare reprint from 20 Mega Pack 2016, and then a super rare, which is in acceptable ranges from Hidden Summers. Pre-Preparation of Rites is a really insane card. You basically get a rip 2 from your deck. It's got really cool artwork too. I don't know why, but this like really reminds me of like Resident Evil 4, like cult style darkness. And this is like relatively affordable, so I'm just gonna go ahead and switch over like immediately to bulk prices because this card it's really good. I don't know why this is taking so long to. That's lovely. Alright, well, so this was going to be the next card. It's really late. It's like past 0-100 here, so I guess TCG player is doing maintenance. Specifically for Preparation of Rites for the disgusting ultra rares, which, you know, who knew? Why would people buy this garbage? It's going for pretty good money. Starting market price is about 5-6, and then it just continues to trickle up after that, and there's not that many bulk prices available for this, specifically for this one, for this variant. Oh, maybe it's kind of working now. Let's see, hold on. Oh, that one isn't working. And then the last card is Pot of Duality. So pretty much all across the board, specifically for the Duelist Saga, the gorgeous, super unique ultra rares from that is Duelist Saga. Really unique history merit. Only set in the TCG to have this like tripping on acid lightsaber looking rarity. Pretty cool. It's pretty much 10 bones. I remember these being like 5, 3, 2, and now they've climbed all the way up to 10. That's pretty much the new standard for this card, pretty much all across the board. Even before we get to bulk prices, it's pretty much 9, 10 bones. And then if we switch over to bulk prices, yeah, again, it's pretty much just 10 bones all across the board. So pretty insane stuff. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you guys have enjoyed this content, please consider sharing it with someone that you believe will also enjoy this content. I hope you guys are making some fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh! Investments yourself. This has been a showcasing by the White Mexican, and I'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.